No prosecution of Biden in classified documents case. DOJ special counsel says in report, Pennsylvania Capitol Star. Washington, the U.S. Justice Department released a lengthy report Thursday concluding that while President Joe Biden willfully retained classified materials following his time as vice president, he won't be charged with a crime. Special counsel Robert K. wrote in the 388-page report that prosecutors considered that, at trial, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. Based on our direct interactions with and observations of him, he is someone for whom many jurors will want to identify reasonable doubt, the report states. It would be difficult to convince a jury that they should convict him, by then a former president well into his 80s, of a serious felony that requires a mental state of willfulness. We conclude the evidence is not sufficient to convict, and we decline to recommend prosecution of Mr. Biden for his retention of the classified Afghanistan documents, the report states. Attorney General Merrick Garland wrote in a one-page letter to Congress that Biden has decided not to assert executive privilege over any part of the report or its appendices. The doctrine of executive privilege allows the president to withhold certain documents or information from the judicial or legislative branches. The report seeks to differentiate between the Biden investigation and another of former President Donald Trump's handling of documents, which did lead to charges, saying there are several material distinctions. Unlike the evidence involving Mr. Biden, the allegations set forth in the indictment of Mr. Trump, if proven, would present serious aggravating facts, the report says. Most notably, after being given multiple chances to return classified documents and avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. The report adds that Trump allegedly obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence and then to lie about it. In contrast, Mr. Biden turned in classified documents to the National Archives and the Department of Justice, consented to the search of multiple locations including his homes, sat for a voluntary interview, and in other ways cooperated with the investigation, the report added. The announcement quickly provoked a reaction from Trump, who in a written statement released by his campaign said the two cases are significantly different and that he did nothing wrong. Trump alleged there is a two-tiered system of justice, and called for the special counsel in his case to drop it immediately, saying it represents election interference. Quote, Biden said in a written statement that he was pleased to see they reached the conclusion I believed all along they would reach, that there would be no charges brought in this case and the matter is now closed. This was an exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years, even into the 1970s when I was a young senator, Biden said. I cooperated completely, threw up no roadblocks, and sought no delays. Biden noted in his statement that he sat for 5 hours of interviews with the special counsel on October 8 and 9, 2023. The 2 days following the terrorist attacks in Israel. While he was in the middle of handling an international crisis, Biden said that he believed that's what I owed the American people so they could know no charges would be brought in the matter. Closed. Garland announced her as the special counsel in January 2023. Trump had appointed her to lead the prosecutor's office in Maryland in 2018. He left in 2021 to join the Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher law firm. The announcement of the special counsel came after classified documents were found at the Penn Biden Center in Washington, D.C., on November 2, 2022 and then in the garage at Biden's home in Wilmington, Delaware, on December 20, 2022 and January 11 and January 12, 2023. The White House defended its decisions to delay revealing that information publicly in mid-January 2023 shortly after the special counsel was publicly appointed. Ian Sams, White House spokesman for oversight and investigations, said at the time the administration understood that there's a tension between the need to be cooperative with an ongoing DOJ investigation and rightful demands for additional public information. And so we're trying to strike that balance and being as clear as we can, Sams said. Special counsel to the president Richard Sauber said in a written statement released Thursday that Biden cooperated with investigators and that the report acknowledges mistakes when packing documents at the end of an administration or when members of Congress leave office are unfortunately a common occurrence. Now that this investigation has concluded, President Biden plans to take new, substantive action to help prevent such mistakes in the future and will announce it soon, Sauber said. Bob Bauer, personal counsel to Biden, said in a written statement that the special counsel's decision rested on evidence compiled using millions of taxpayer dollars over a 15-month inquiry involving 173 interviews of 147 witnesses and more than 7 million documents. He specifically noted that he would have reached the same conclusion even if the president were a private citizen and not the sitting president, Bauer said. The special counsel also noted the president's complete cooperation, including the president's unprecedented decision to open up every room of his family home and beach house to comprehensive FBI searches as well as a voluntary interview conducted over 2 days.